listening to Off the Card, an action figure podcast, a show about action figures by kids trapped in the bodies of grown men. And here they are, Billy Cooper and Eric Murphy.
Thank you for that kind introduction, Paul. I'm Billy. Joining me, as always, my co-host, Eric. What's up, Eric?
Not much.
And joining me and Eric today is special guest, friend of the show, Troy Brownfield. Troy, what's up, man?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good. To the uninitiated, tell everybody a little bit about yourself before we kick off the fun.
Sure thing. I write the super articulate column at graphicpolicy.com, but I've also written about figures for other places over time, like Newsarama and New Type USA magazine. And my day job, I'm a journalist too. I'm a staff writer for the Saturday Evening Post, and I edit the kids' magazines, Jack and Jill and Humpty Dumpty. And I write comic books and stuff too. So
cool. Long-time toy collector as well.
That's right. Yeah, you can kind of get a glimpse back.
I can see. I see a lot. So we're just gonna haul off, man, and just start going through this. PulseCon 2021. I've got notes. I've got stuff. Ghostbuster Proton Pack through HasLab. $399, and they're needing 7,000 backers.
Yeah, at current, they are about 2,000 off, and it closes on the 5th.
You think it's doable?
Possibly, yeah. I think.
Are you going to get in on it, Mr. Ghostbuster Man?
I have to have a very long conversation with my wife about that.
Troy, what do you think?
I'm hoping I can swing it because she says she wants to buy a professional camera for $1,500. So I think I have something to lobby with.
Leverage.
It's one of those things that, I put a lot of things in this category. I'm glad it exists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge original Ghostbusters fan, but I didn't, I haven't done any of the HasLabs so far. Not that, that the Galactus one pains me in a way that I didn't do the Galactus, but kind of the last thing when they said, well, if it makes, then they'll still make the Heralds available at some point down the line. I'm like, okay, well, if I can get that Morg and whatnot later, I can wait, because I really do like that original Build a Galactus. That's cool, but it's just, getting into the 200, 300, 400 range, I think is kind of a lot to ask when you've got people who are already into you for a few $1,000s a year.
Right. Yeah.
Things. Now, Ghostbusters is a little bit different because, the pack is so iconic. There are very few figures overall. It's not like the Marvel stuff necessarily, or Star Wars, where you have a cast of thousands and they're determined to make all of them. You ain't
got 20 years of Legends and 10 years of Black series.
No, the only thing they could do with it, really, if they were to get down that, they'd have to go deep dive dig on a lot of the cartoon series. There's a few movies, like the Pulse run that they did originally was nice, and then the new one for Afterlife is nice. Mm-hmm. If they did another Pulse run, you could do a run of Ghostbusters 2, and then Walter Peck. You could do Janos. You could do Vigo.
There's not,
and that's a lot, and then a couple different iterations of Janine, and that's really about it. You couldn't go much farther down the track than that.
If you wanted to go like the Transformers route and start doing like the IDW stuff,
that's a good point. That's definitely a good point,
because they do that a lot. They'll mine that IDW stuff.
Honestly, the Proton Pack thing for me, it's nice, especially if you have the plasma, the wand, the one that I snagged for ridiculously good deal at GameStop with up in Castleton. That was. I snagged that for $60 on a clearance at GameStop. Yeah, he was with me, and I about sprinted over there and snatched it.
I think he did. I think he did somersaults on the way there.
Yeah, that was a steal. I just checked it. Actually, they are 800 away from hitting.
Okay, so
they have 4 days. It's going to hit. It's going to hit. But for me, Matty Collector did a wand and did all that stuff, but they never got that far as making a pack. They fell short. This is the first time, other than buying the Spirit Halloween ones, which are nice, and other than that, building your own pack, which is extremely expensive.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was more hoping that they would have done, since they did Giant Galactus, if they would have HasLab Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
I would think that's definitely definitely in the cards.
Or to go real crazy, if they did Sam Hain.
I would love to see them do that.
Yeah.
So it looks like that's a good possibility. Let's roll Star Wars Black. I see we're getting another Target exclusive Mando and Grogu, this time with an ice spider and some white paint thrown on it. I mean, hey, keep doing it. They keep selling them, I seen we're getting a Bill Burr action figure. Mass hole in space, as I like to call it, but I don't even know what that character's name. Troy, do you remember his name?
Mayfeld, yeah, and Mayfeld. I believe he comes from Space Boston.
Even in space, there's a bunch of mass holes. The one that I thought was really cool is the Cobb Vanth, the Timothy Fantastic figure. I think that's other than the price point, seemed a little high.
Yeah, here's my thing with that, because I watched the Black Series one really closely and was primed to expect any number of things coming out of it, and it turned out the only straight up pre-order I made was Cobb Vanth, and I was a little annoyed that it was a deluxe instead of a regular figure, because the deluxe parts that they kind of used to justify it with the extra blasters in the backpack and the helmet are no different than, like, say, the Bad Batch that just came with Crosshair has the sniper rifle, a pistol, a backpack, and a helmet. It's not that much different. So it really does feel like that Cobb Vanth is a little bit of a jab. But the Mando with the mud and the ice spider, it's like, it really is a thing of really kind of selling you the same thing over and over. When a lot of people were kind of wanting, me included, like Fennec Shand, or different characters from up and down the line. They haven't reoffered Captain Rex in years. I mean, this is some of the kind of things that people were talking about leading up to it. And, I do realize that we have a number of new shows coming, Andor and Kenobi and Ahsoka and all these things in various stages of, coming out in 2022. And we'll probably see a lot of really cool stuff associated with it. But the last two Star Wars broadcasts that they've done before PulseCon and this was a lot of repaints and very few characters. And well, it was cool that they had the reveals of, say, Echo and Omega from the Bad Batch. Neither one of them went up for pre-order. So it was kind of like, oh, we saw a picture. And Figrin Dan from the Cantina Band was cool to know that they've got that in the pipeline for the people that like the aliens of the Cantina scene. It's not really complete without the band. That was another pipeline. It wasn't a pre-order. So the Star Wars one felt kind of flat for me.
Yeah. Well, we get the Boba Fett. I mean Fett, or the as I call him, the Boba Fett. The was it Typhon?
Just as a personal matter, of course, the reason I didn't order that is because I will get the Boba after he's got like the repainted armor from the Prison Break.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then with that, we also have the HasLab Rancor, $350, and that'll probably happen as well, I'm sure.
Again, I'm a little shocked at the price point of that, because the Sentinel was $300 and came with, the Bastion figure, the female Prime Sentinel and whatnot, and then the extra head and everything, the Master Mold head, and then Galactus being $400 with the extra head and the Doom head, and then the three Heralds, and then Rancor. I haven't seen them announce any other tiers yet. I mean, I expect maybe the Rancor Keeper, if that would make the most sense.
Yeah.
But it's kind of It does. It struck me that it was weird that it was that much for kind of just the ranker. You know what I mean? Does that?
Yeah, it seems a bit high.
Yeah, as it stands with 35 days, they are at the halfway point of 9,000. They're at 4,500.
Yeah, they'll make it. So all right, there's on through PulseCon, a little bit more in my wheelhouse. GI Joe Classified. They showed us the Cobra Bat. They showed Spirit, Classic. Finally, Storm Shadow. Big surprise with Crocmaster and Fiona. I really dug all those. And then back to Target exclusives with the Tiger Force Outback, Python Patrol Viper, and the Python Patrol Cobra Bat. And some of this stuff's already starting to hit store shelves. I don't know if you guys have watched anything on Twitter or watched any of the big major toy websites, but people are finding these already hitting stores. And they just talked about them like Friday. It was crazy.
Yeah, I know we talked over the weekend, I think, because I picked up something for you that I found that I noticed. I haven't been to Target in a couple weeks, but Walmart, I walked in and they had rolling racks when you first walked in of tons of stuff that had been sitting forever, clearanced out for cheap. And they did a complete flip job of the toy department. And all of a sudden, all the shelves were completely replenished with brand new stuff for the most part. So when I walked in, tons of GI Joe stuff, all the new Ghostbusters stuff was there, all the Masters Universe stuff was there, Turtles, and a lot of the stuff that had been sitting collecting dust had been cleared out. So I think whatever these shipments are, either it's the container situation might be improving, or they are been sitting on a cache of this stuff getting into the holidays and they're prepping for the holidays.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm glad to see new stuff hit shelves. I'm liking. I would had no expectations for GI Joe Classified coming into PulseCon, and they completely shocked the hell out of me, as I can say for quite a lot of people. And dropping the Sky Striker through HasLab for $229. Man, I remember the last time I bought a jet at retail, it was like $70 at Toys R Us. It was a Sky Striker for was it 30th anniversary or something? So that's a hell of a jump in less than 10 years. But I mean, it is what it is. So all right,
that one's actually, it's got 36 days left and it's at 5,000 of 10,000.
Yeah, GI Joe fans are stupid. We're dumb.
Yeah,
we're dumb. I mean, we are. We pay dumb money for stupid shit. It's we're just happy to have Cold War propaganda back on the shelves again, kids.
Yeah.
So Marvel Legends, starting off with one of my favorite things from this announcement, Null. We're going to get a Null. I don't know how we're going to get Null. He's going to be huge. They said, what, 8 inches, Troy?
Yeah. And they said a regular figure. They said he wasn't a deluxe, right? They said he was in a regular assortment.
They did not say how he's getting released. I would think him to be a deluxe figure, though, because they're probably going to throw a cape on him or wings.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm all about it. Donnie Cates, if anybody listens to the old show and this one, I'm a Donnie Cates fanboy. He actually made me like Venom finally.
That run is great.
And Null being the guy that tied it in. So Null, that was a great announcement. Walgreens, dun dun dun. Baron Zemo comic version. That's been due for a while.
Yeah, it's, you know what? Let me see if I can lean over here.
Last one was a Toy Biz one, right?
Yeah, I don't know how the lighting is right there, but he's kind of fallen over. There's that Winter Soldier. Zemo is kind of the closest look to that classic or like the Siege storyline Zemo costume that Walgreens gave us. And that's fantastic. I mean, it would be nice to see some more classic villains like that, but it's great to see a pure comic version
And did they not say that 2022 is going to be for Walgreens like the year of the villain?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were pretty
It's-
straight up about that.
And Walgreens has been pretty quiet over the past, seems like
Man.
year or two, as far as
They're-
exclusivity is of anything. Really, it's been fairly
Well,
quiet.
Well, they've done a couple of Marvel Legends. They did what? The
Nova,
Nova.
Quasar, and Binary. And Quasar, okay, Nova I just got. It's it's like been invisible in the Midwest, but I was able to get one for a decent price. The Quasar has shown up. The Quasar was an EB Games exclusive in Canada, but it is starting to show up a little bit in like Florida and California, as they often do, and creep inward.
Yeah.
And then there's a Binary that was supposed to be out in December, which probably is not going to happen. It's probably going to run late, but because Walgreens is as Walgreens is. Sometimes, like when they did the FF, those were really plentiful.
Yeah.
And Nova has been just impossible.
Yeah, it's been a pain. Pain in the ass. Walgreens exclusives. It's a whole nother show. We're getting a more retro cards for the West Coast Avengers. We're getting a Wanda and a White Vision. That Wanda's beautiful. That's from the 3-pack, right?
Yeah, they've done a couple little touches to it, but it was in that Family Matters 3-pack.
We're getting the Vulcan, which is the debut of the replacement body for the Bucky Buck. No pins is what I've seen, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And Vulcan, I mean that's another one that's been long overdue. I've seen Marvel Cinematic Universe Falcon Cap, as I like to call him, and then the Cap 2-pack. That's a good looking one. New Winter Soldier coming from the TV show. The VHS tape X-Men animated series figures. Those are pretty awesome looking. Man, that cell shaded Wolverine looks really cool.
Yeah. Is that the one with the picture?
Yes. Yeah, the meme. Yeah. That's great. And then we got Jubilee in that one, and then 20th anniversary Cap, Iron Man. Iron Man comes with a Charles Bronson head, it looks like, is what everyone keeps referring to it as. And then they did show a little bit of Hulk and Toad.
The packaging on those are insane. I may end up caving and buying Captain America.
They hit you right in nostalgia, right? Like I remember, when those hit 20 years ago at Toys R Us, and looking at that going, well, that is different. These really, 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 really hit that well.
I really wish they would have put them in the clamshells that were awful to open, just for my own personal humor, watching people struggle to open them.
Yeah,
I think we're already paying enough at like $32 a piece. You add a clamshell, it's going to take it to $40, man.
Yeah. I just want to see somebody almost cut their fingers off trying to get that thing open.
That'd be me. I'm that somebody, man. Don't say that. Not good.
Those were a legendary pain to get into. No pun intended. But they were. That was. But that very first assortment, when it first dropped, I was kind of on the fence because I was kind of. I think we talked about this the last time I was on, like the ups and downs you have collecting, and but they weren't even very much. They were like about $8 when they first came out, like individually.
Like six, not under $8 actually. I remember.
And I saw them at Target. They were clearanced for $1.49 each, and that was that was my tip. They were like, "Oh yeah, I should grab those," because it was just the original set, the Cap Hulk. So it was just. But I really like that anniversary.
Yeah.
Set. I was saying I really like doing the anniversary set, and the thing I appreciate most about the Iron Man is that they've got what they call the horned helmet, that look he had after he abandoned the monochrome when it was just the whole gold armor, and he went to the first version of the red and gold with the horns.
Mhm.
You know, it's kind of like, you know, I got that Hall of Armors thing from Shop Disney, and set my Iron Mans up in one of those. And you know, as I was looking at it a few months ago, I thought, oh man, they've never done the horn helmet, and then here it comes. So
Here it comes. Yeah.
And Doctor
Those-
Strange is a Walmart exclusive.
Yeah, Walmart. Yeah. And then we get Despair. I think I texted you or messaged you when I seen that. I'm like, boy, that was a deep cut.
that is a deep cut, which is great. Though, you know, there's the best thing about, and this is what I mentioned this earlier about the Star Wars and Marvel. The best thing when you have, you know, for example, Marvel's got like what 12,000 licensed individual characters or whatnot. I mean, somebody loves every one of them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then the reveal there, the tease at the end, that was probably looked like one of Maggot's
Yeah,
little guys. So pretty good. Pretty good PulseCon. There was some neat stuff. And then they did the Pulse Premium 1027, and they had some good reveals on that. I thought that those reveals were better than the PulseCon itself, in my
yeah,
personal opinion.
they had some good stuff lined up. The only thing I'm was really a little thrown by why they did it so close together. You know, I wasn't, you know, I mean, I'm not sure what the internal motivation of that was. And it was kind of like, you know, with PulseCon, they said they had some stuff that's like, okay, this is going up for order or pre-order right now. Some of these are going to come, you know, pretty quickly after you order it, like MODOK, and some of them are going to come later, like the West Coast Avengers. But then a couple days later, it wasn't. Some of the stuff we showed you is now also going to be up for pre-order. It's like, no, this is more stuff.
Yeah,
just kind of felt like an odd, you know, it was like an encore.
yeah. So with Legends, they debuted. We're getting an Iron Spider. The last Iron Spider they made was part of that Spider-Man Origins figures from a black card stuff from a long time ago.
Yeah, like maybe
Iron
18 years.
Yeah, it was a long time. So we're getting Iron Spider. They debuted the Mr. Sinister in the VHS box. I dig it. I like that cell shaded look. And plus those VHS boxes, they remind me of Pizza Hut. Like, man, so good. I like those reveals. I thought those were really good. Pretty cool figures. Then we're getting the Judea controlled stormtrooper from Rogue One. That's a pretty cool looking figure as well. I like everything from Rogue One. I'm that guy. I loved Rogue One. So
me too.
Omega or Omega, however you want to pronounce her name, with Ruby from the Bad Batch. That was a good one as well. That should about rounds out the Bad Batch team, right? Other than Echo, which he's got announced as well.
Yeah.
And then they showed a Bib Fortuna, which is probably the scariest damn Marvel or Star Wars black figure I've ever seen. God, that guy's so damn creepy. Those look good. Again, back to my wheelhouse, JoJo Classified, we get a Cobra Officer, which is another excuse to get another Cobra armor builder out there. And then one of my favorite figures of all time is getting made into Classified, which is Alley Viper. I love that orange and blue. But by and large, man, they put a lot of stuff out. A lot of stuff. Luckily, I dip sparingly into Legends and Black, only with just a certain couple of figures here and there. JoJo Classified is going to kick my butt, though. I can tell you that right now. So,
yeah, the classified stuff looks outstanding, like the original Storm Shadow and Spirit in particular. Or as someone who collected this stuff as a kid, you know, watched the show and whatnot, they did an outstanding job on both of those. I think that, you know, people are going to flip out for them.
I think so. And it feels like, honestly, Hasbro's starting to figure out distribution and product as far as like how much to make, because we're starting to like be able to find this stuff on the shelves, which is kind of cool. For us old folks that still walk into stores to buy our action figures. So, all right, rolling on. NECA. Eric, this is where me and you come in, bub.
Yeah.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. Right off the top, Universal Monsters TMNT.
Yep.
Good God. 8 figures to be done with accessory sets to come. These are all designed by James Groman. Those who don't know who James Groman is, he basically made my childhood for me with My Pet Monster and Mad Balls and Barnyard Commandos and all the other awesome trash toys that I absolutely loved. So he's involved. He's helping these out. They showed Raphael as Frankenstein's monster, and Leo is instead of Igor, it's Yigor, the Hunchback. These look flipping amazing.
This is and it made me remember Playmates did a series when I was a kid of Monster Mash versions. They did a Dracula, they did a Frankenstein, they did a Creature of the Black Lagoon, they did a whole run of crossover ones. So this is kind of like the upgraded versions of themselves.
Well, they did. They also went back and revisited that with the TMNT cartoon, not this latest one, the one before, the CGI one.
Yeah.
From about 4 or 5 years ago. They actually did a run there toward the end of these guys.
So they're starting to reach back and hit some stuff.
Yep.
Like they've already done Turtles 2, they've done Turtles 1, they've done the cartoon series, they've done this. I'm gonna assume at some point they're probably gonna put them in the samurai suits for number 3. Yeah, I think they will. But yeah, you'll probably get the robotic versions of themselves because they did robot ones in one of the cartoon episodes.
When are we getting Star Trek Turtles?
Oh, that's good point. I forgot about those.
Oh,
yeah.
I did.
They also did sports ones too. I had I had like Raphael as a football player, and I forgot about it. And as soon as they popped the Frankenstein up, like, oh, I forgot about those.
Yeah,
I completely forgot about those. Like, that makes perfect sense.
So they're saying 8 figures to be done, and pardon me, guys, accessory sets to come with the off to the side. So on top of that, we got some of those new balls. NECA's been putting out those little blind balls.
Yeah,
9 packs. They showed Gremlins. Whatever.
Yeah.
The Toonie Tears. They showed the Miner on card from My Bloody Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Toonie Terror stuff because they look like Scooby-Doo villains.
Yeah.
Gargoyles. Oh God, they showed Hudson. That makes me. God, I got that Goliath in finally.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw your pictures. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that box is huge. It's big. Like I'm big, like twice the size of the Back to the Future figure. Big. It's big bastard.
So it was playset size.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's gorgeous too. We showed Gremlins 2. They're doing an Ultimate Brain. They really hit hard with the Gremlins this year.
Yeah, it did Brain, and they also did the girl.
Yes. They showed, finally, we're getting pictures of the Ultimate Mummy, color and black and white. Those.
Yeah, awesome. And then as of this weekend, they showed Bela Lugosi's Dracula.
That thing.
Yeah.
So good. We're getting a life-size Chucky from Bride of Chucky. I don't mess with Chucky stuff.
Yeah, neither do I. I've I found Bride of Chucky at the store recently, and it's a passover for me. I never got into.
Other than I will say the new Chucky show on Sci-Fi.
It's good.
It's really freaking good.
Yeah.
Well, something we speculated on last episode come to fruition. We are getting the creatures from Carpenter's The Thing.
Yep.
So that makes me happy. I like the Blair monster and things like that. So now I got things for McCready to light on fire. I'm very happy about that. And then something that kind of came out of left field for me. this company is notoriously tight with their licensing, and we're getting Last of Us 2 figures. It's an ultimate 2-pack of Joel and Ellie.
Yeah.
Typically, Naughty Dog's really tight with their stuff. I mean, not like, some of the other companies, but they don't really let this stuff out. So to see we're getting ultimate figures of them two this late after that game released is interesting.
Yeah, I'm at Naughty Dog. Yeah, I can see him getting a good relationship with NECA.
Well, they did the Nathan Drake figure, and I would probably assume we're going to get the Tom Holland, Uncharted probably as an action figure. I'm sure down the road. So NECA did that whole 31 days. Did you guys see the 31 day, the last one?
They showed a candy bucket tipped over in a coffin like it was a teaser to something.
Well,
that's all I saw.
There's a bunch of stuff hidden in the candy.
Okay.
There was like a cup from this, a goblet from that. They looked like they possibly hinted at the Invisible Man.
That would make sense.
But they didn't really say either. So that's just pure, mindless speculation.
Would that be funny, though, if they did a package with nothing inside of it and said that this Invisible Man?
And then charged me like $40 and say it was con exclusive? That'd be flipping hilarious.
Yeah, like I don't know why. I just thought that would be funny. I don't know why.
It's like, you guys remember when Matty Collector did the Legion of Superheroes box set?
Didn't they do like a Wonder Woman plane or something?
They did Invisible Kid with the Legion. There was like a 12-figure box set, but there was one blank. That was the Invisible Kid.
That's horrible. I love it though. That's so great. For me though, man, NECA. I know they're not everyone's cup of tea, and I know there's all kinds of people don't like them and whatever. But my God, man, they know how to get my money.
The top hat leads me to believe that it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Could be. Yeah.
And
so
the hair.
There's definitely something hidden there. You know what I mean? And once they announce it, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, no kidding, that's it." Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that there's a couple things there that tell me, like there's a nose,
which would be the Invisible Man, right?
Or it could be, that's gonna make my head hurt for a while.
Well, didn't he wear like a prosthetic? Like, he had like the whole mummy wrap thing and the.
Yeah, it's just the hat is what gets me of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Maybe even Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, any of those things. Yeah. That's gonna bug the piss out of me. Because the one mug that is sitting there and it gets my hopes up, and the lantern also tells me Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But the mug in the middle got me slightly excited. I thought they were going to do like Young Frankenstein, because it looks like the mug that Peter Boyle has in his hand when Gene Hackman smashes it. Like, you give me a run of Young Frankenstein NECA Ultimate figures.
Yeah. Give us all those. Yeah.
With the top hat, that could be a Young Frankenstein.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It definitely could be.
Man, would that not be absolutely hilarious?
I'll be done. I'll be like, well, I have to pre-order all those.
Yep. So moving on through, man, everybody had them something going on this last couple of weeks. Ringside Fest 2021 for all your wrestling figures. They did some really cool stuff. We're getting the Ringside exclusive Blackheart, Tomasa. What's his last name here?
Tomasa Ciampa.
Yeah, okay. So we're getting an exclusive of him through them. We're getting an exclusive Straps Down Undertaker. What else are we getting? Ultimates Edition Series 13. We're getting Hulk Hogan and Mr. T from WrestleMania 3?
It'd be 1 or 2.
Okay.
It's
I know it's Mr. T in like Hulk Hogan colors. So
I'll be number 1.
Yeah.
Be WrestleMania 1.
basic figures, they're showing basic WrestleMania 38, Bianca Belair, Seth Rollins, Hulk Hogan, and Sheamus. Really nothing of substance. All basic series 129 series of those damn things.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And and they got Damian Priest in it, and Keith Lee, and
Roman Reigns, Dominique Mysterio, 30 or 130's got Omos and AJ Styles, 31s. They showed a Randy Orton. Elite Series. Elite Series is more what I'd be interested in, but they're showing a Rey Mysterio, Scarlett, and Charlotte Flair. Elite Series 93, T-Bar and Ricky Steamboat, WCW Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah, with the world title.
Yep, that one's kind of cool. And then Series 94 for the Ultimates, Mace. I don't know who Mace is. I don't know a lot of these.
Yeah, that's the thing right now. Like, they're announcing all these guys.
Are they even part of the? Are they even on the roster anymore after they cut like 90% of them?
That's the thing right now, and I'm noticing it happening, that there is a glut of figures in stores, and it's all released talent. It's all the people that they released during the pandemic that figures were already made.
I just walked into my Walmart and there was like 8 Braun Strowmans.
Yeah, Braun Strowman's, Bray Wyatt's. There's Bronson Reed, who the figure's not even out yet, but he's already been released.
Sucks, man.
So, and
I wonder what the lead time is on one of those.
Probably 6 months. I imagine they probably do their FX scans and start the process, make the announcement, and in between the time of manufacturing, they get released.
What's the turnaround on a Marvel Legend then?
I don't think they've ever really said. I think 6 months is probably pretty fair. They need to have, for the movie figures, it's before that, because you get sometimes the variation between how the figure looks and what the final movie look was, because they have to go up with designs. And I mean, it's Andy Park's work, so it's going to look awesome anyway. But then you run into things where the sketches didn't have the white stripes, or they didn't have the both stripes on the U.S. agent costume.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. And I think there was some difference on the Black Widow movie figures too, right? There was some.
Yeah, it was the hair, because when they have in fact, that's right behind me over here. If you look at, Nat there, that's not the hair she ended up having in that scene.
No, you're right.
But it was accurate to that version, and everybody else looks all right. But by the time they got to that, they didn't have the hair, so it was changed.
So I can see 6 months, 6 to 8 months, absolutely. That's cool. So back to wrestling. Wrestling Legends Series 14 Legends. That's the Target exclusive, right, Eric?
Yeah.
Okay, so they had Road Dogg, which is part of the DX team that they're putting together. China, part of that DX team. They showed Edge, and then they showed a Mean Mark version of Undertaker before he was thought of.
When he was with WCW.
That's a very deep cut.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting ready to get into, is that it's getting to a point now they can't almost function properly with new talent because they keep getting released. So now we're just getting reiterations of classic figures because they're guaranteed to sell.
Oh, no doubt about it. I'd say 99% of any wrestling figures that I buy are always going to be
legends,
legacy legend talent.
And the other thing too is the way it forecasts. I've never seen anything like it with Marvel Legends and stuff. They tell you, hey, Series 38, this is the announcement. About a month and a half later, there's Series 38 on the shelf. With wrestling figures, it's like, hey, this is Series 90 on the shelf, but we just announced 95. So they get out so far ahead of themselves. Like, I was in Target and they just got in the shipments for the Ultimates, John Cena and The Rock, but they've already announced 2 more Ultimates runs of Kane and Undertaker, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. And they pulled a fast one, which I'm kind of upset about, because I canceled my pre-order. they had the fan takeover Amazon exclusive of Jeff Hardy and Hulk Hogan that got pushed all the way to August of 2022, but people are getting them now.
Wow.
And I canceled it because I was like, okay, I'll just wait. So
it all comes back to supply chain, right? I mean, the buzzwords on the news.
I don't know if with wrestling stuff, it's supply chain. I think it's just they get so far ahead of themselves. They get really
those
far
figures. I mean, other than the real scans, I mean, the scan that they're doing of the figures' heads, the bodies and stuff are
interchangeable.
Very generic. Very generic. I mean, now saying the Marvel Legends doesn't use the same damn body, over and over again. All the companies do that. I completely understand why. Not everything's a brand new sculpt, right? So, I'm with you on that. So WrestleMania Elite, there's a Vince McMahon Build-A-Figure wave with Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, AJ Styles, and Bret Hart. This is the old man Bret Hart.
Yep, that's from 26 or 27 WrestleMania.
Yeah. AJ Styles from the Undertaker match, right? The
graveyard match.
The graveyard match. The Shawn Michaels, I've seen a lot of buzz on the Shawn Michaels because of what he was wearing. I guess it's a really popular uniform or whatever.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
That is from his first match with The Undertaker before the retirement match. That's why.
Okay. And then Stone Cold. So Elite 91, they showed Hulk, Bianca Belair, RVD, which we were talking about off air. That's the rising sun, and then the chase will be the tiger.
Yep.
Like Kevin Owens, hell, let's be honest, he probably will not be part of
there by the time it gets there.
Yep, he's already gone, so whatever. Austin Theory, I think, and then Sami Zayn.
He'll be gone too.
Yep,
his contract's back up too.
And the most redundant figure of the night is the Ultimate Warrior.
Yep.
Double your entertainment.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy is with the Hulk Hogan. That's the Hollywood Hulk Hogan in the yellow with the boas. That is 3 Hulk Hogan figures announced in the span of 6 months. The fan takeover one. There's a Survivor Series run Elite that has them in it that should be hitting the shelves anytime. Yep. And then there's that.
Yeah,
interesting. I guess the Walmart crowd really cannot get enough of a spray tanned bigot.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a bad joke.
No, it could be worse. You could expose yourself on an airplane flight and get ostracized by everybody.
Let's say that somebody was going to do an article about the anniversary of somebody's first championship belt win.
Yeah.
And then that story came out. And I'd already written it. And I actually had to call my editor and say, let's kill that Flair anniversary story.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Boy, wrestling.
Yeah.
It could happen to a bunch of nicer guys. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So a little something. All right, here we go. So more toy news. Premium DNA, which is the illegitimate love child of Megalopolis Toys, the company that screwed over many far and wide, are actually showing pictures of their Madball figures, cases on skids. Skids are wrapped. I think they're on their way here. So I'm getting that much closer to getting my Madballs figures finally. A year plus. Yeah. So anyway, I'm happy about that. So I've seen those pictures, was stoked about that. McFarlane, doing what McFarlane does. He's resurrecting all the Spawn figures. I've seen a deluxe Cygor, $50. That better be really deluxe. And a She-Spawn for $40 with a bunch of guns. So he's bringing back his Spawn stuff, one piece at a time. What else is in here? I seen that Walmart's getting an exclusive black and red statue. It's a foot tall for the Batman movie. So that looks kind of cool. I'm looking forward to that movie. I don't really. One thing I don't do is I don't buy comic book movie action figure. That's the one. That's the one stuff I stay away from. So, don't mess with them. What else? Oh, Super Seven debuted the Run the Jewels 2-pack. LP and Killer Mike pre-order up from October 22nd to November 22nd. I've already got my order in, of course. I am Killer Mike is my spirit animal, so I have to have one of those. What else did I see? Mezco, part of their 5 points. Did you guys see that Tower of Fear deluxe box set that they're going to put out?
I didn't see that.
It's a giant box set, and it's got these different levels on it. But all the figures, like Mezco has a subline called 5 points, and it's all 5 points for articulation, 3.75 figures. It's all basically their version of the Universal Monsters. It actually looks a lot like all the Monster Squad guys.
Okay.
in a way, they look, but it's like a box set, and it comes with a big play set, and it's got different levels like Frankenstein's lair, and yeah, it's got everything in it. It's $95. It's up now on Mezco's website to pre-order. It looks really cool. The $95 scares me, but you get 6 or 7 figures, so it ain't that bad. At least it's not $100 for a glorified Marvel Legend. Mezco. Oh, and then also Robo Skull. You guys seen that Kickstarter yet?
Mm-mm.
I have not.
Troy, have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so Robo Skull was a toy from back in the day from Pally Toy overseas. It was part of Action Force. Basically, it's a TIE fighter with a giant red skull in the middle of it. It's really cool looking. So it was part of the Action Force stuff. Basically, it was the overseas version of GI Joe. So the most beloved is literally this giant red skull with TIE fighter wings. So this company Skeletron is doing a Robo Skull Mark II, and they're teaming up with Marauders Inc. They make some really great little guns and stuff, and then the other figures and things here in the States. They needed 78,000. When I checked a couple of days ago, they were just a hair short of 400,000 at $219 a ship, basically. So they're going to make it.
Yeah.
And then some. I have yet to put my order in. The cool thing is what they've done with the cockpit. If you guys want to look it up, the cockpit is made to hold 2 vintage style classic GI Joe figures, but the cockpit can come out, and then you can put in a 6-inch figure.
Huh.
So they've got it made where it configures to put different scale of figures in this giant red skull TIE fighter with machine guns sticking out of its eyes. It's really badass. Yeah, I'll have one. I might have 2. I don't know yet.
Has that ever been done before? A vehicle that can suit 2 different scales?
Oh man, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Pretty ingenious though.
Yeah.
Because you've got, especially in the Joe community, you've got your detractors that absolutely hate classifieds. 6-inch, it's like the Antichrist to them. But then you have us guys that are like, hey man, cool toys is cool toys. Update. So anyway, yeah, pretty cool looking. If you guys get a chance to look it up, it's man, it's really badass looking. It literally is a giant. It looks like something from an Iron Maiden album cover. It's got machine guns sticking out of its eyes, and it's got lasers, and the wings move, and it's badass. It looks like something Lemmy would have drove. That's all I'm saying. It's badass. That's cool. It's badass. Also, right up my alley, the new company on the scene called I don't know if it's pronounced Formo or Fromo, Formo toys. Formo?
Formo, I guess.
Formo. So Formo is a group that's got that are creating basically 5.5 scale action figures. Cough He-Man. They have a line coming out called Lords of Power. It looks exactly like He-Man. It literally. I mean, some of the character designs, I believe, are unused He-Man prototype stuff. So this stuff just got announced. Looking forward to it. Each figure, they're making them modular where you can tear them apart like the new Origins figures and then put them back together and kind of make your own and stuff. But yeah, let's see. The first wave, entitled Lords of Power at the beginning, will include 6 figures. Each of the first 6 figures in the line also come with one or more pieces of our first Divine Armor figure. By collecting the entire wave, customers will be able to put together this special figure not available separately. The Divine Armor figure is completely compatible with other figures' joints. Figures come packed in retro full color blister cards. So basically, He-Man Build-A-Figures. I'm down. Depending on price. Way depending on price. It looks like these are going to pre-order campaign starts in January. So there is that. Lots of fun toy news. What are you guys thinking? You thinking this HasLab stuff is going to run its course, or you think we're going to keep buying $400 glorified toddlers like that Galactus?
Galactus is maybe more like a kindergarten. But,
yeah, that ain't no kidding.
I've been kind of indifferent to the whole not really HasLab, but the whole Kickstarter thing. They're not the only ones doing it. Mattel's doing it too. Like they did a wrestling one. There was a ring and that had Diesel, and if it hit the next one, you got Doink. And my only thing, it was like $250. My only thing about it, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I look at Hasbro and Mattel as 2 of the biggest toy companies on the planet. Why do you need a Kickstarter?
I thought about that too.
It's like Walmart saying, "Hey, I need a Kickstarter because I want to put something out." It's like, no, you're Walmart. It's kind of. I mean, I understand if they're going to commit to making something really high end and nice, they want to make sure people really want it. But I would figure pre-orders would kind of dictate that.
I think this is just a way to these are glorified pre-orders.
Yeah. But what happens if it doesn't hit its goal?
Then you get your money back.
I mean, but I mean,
they don't even take your money until it actually
commits,
becomes funded. Yeah, I do a lot of Kickstarter as far as I everything from comics to you name it. I've got a stack of stuff over there. And in action figures, my buddy Jason with Spiro, all his Animal Warrior, the Kingdom stuff is all coming through Kickstarter. I do a lot of Kickstarter stuff. There's a lot of Glyos stuff coming through Kickstarter. I'm a big fan of, but I think that the big companies are kind of co-opting something that makes the little companies cooler. That's the way I feel. I feel like they see something as like, oh man, it's Steve Buscemi. Hey, fellow teenagers, you know what I mean? That meme.
Yeah,
that's what I get with these guys in this HasLab stuff. It's like, hey, fellow toy collectors, and let's be honest, I'd love to know how many HasLab figures or creations actually get into collectors' hands or get into flippers' hands to be sold to a collector down the road.
Yeah, I could almost hedge my bet that I know they're limiting how many with the Proton Pack, how many you can get. I guess like 1, maybe 2.
But if you get 2, like, look, if you got two Galactus, or what was the one before was it the Sentinel? If you got 2 Sentinels, you sold 1 and you paid for both. Right?
Yeah, no,
I mean that's pretty much what it broke down to as far as like secondary market.
And mark my words with the Proton Packs this time next year. Whoever doesn't get it, they'll be going for $1,000 a piece.
Probably. I mean,
because
what's the
that's
sail barge was that, right? Like $1,000
Yeah.
now or something?
it's already yeah, I've already been proven on that because the Matty Collector, PKE meter and trap, and one they did for Matty Collector, those all clock now between $500 and $600 a piece.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that the HasLab stuff is these companies trying to think to show people that they're cooler than what they are.
Yeah.
Because you're right. These are multi-billion-dollar corporations, and it feels a little disingenuous at times for them to sit there and go, "Hey, we're going to make this, but only if you give us your money first."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, I would like to see an opposite thing, and maybe I'm in the minority about this, and you guys can tell me. But one thing I liked that Mattel did, and granted there were some inefficiencies until they figured out how to get it going, but when they did the subscription service through Matty Collector,
Yep. I remember that.
I loved doing the DC figures like that, and it enabled them. In that case, it did enable them to make some rare figures that they knew would be hard sells, on the shelf. And
Was it like they did like what Metatron and his throne?
Yeah,
Monsieur Mala and the Brain.
Rocket Red.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would really like it if Marvel did an approach like that, because it was, every couple of months they'd have one come out, and then you could hit maybe some of these rare team members or whatnot that might, be a peg warmer in one circumstance, but the subscribers would say, hey, I really want to fill out, Team X. I really want that, Cannonball in his New Mutants outfit. I really want this.
No, I remember that. I remember that because I was on that. I think a lot of people got upset with the Matty Collector stuff. Um, I've read a lot about it, and I've listened to a lot of people talk about it, and I believe it came down to people were upset being on the hook for being on the hook for X amount of figures to get that special figure. You had to be like in for 12 months to get the 13th or something, and they felt like they were cheated because they were stuck with just oh great, Billy, another Shazam family member or what have you to get the John Constantine. The same thing with it when it came with the Mo2. People got tired of that as well. I think that was the biggest beef. I think I think that's kind of what killed the Thundercat stuff through them. But I don't. I get what you're saying, though. I think it would be great. I think the idea of signing up and being in for like maybe 5 figures a month to get that 6, maybe like a Build-A-Figure, if or something like that. Like you're buying a wave, but this is a wave of figures that aren't, retail savvy or special enough for retail.
You guys will remember this, and feel free to laugh your asses off as I use this as an example. But do you remember when they used to have the Stephen King library that they sold on TV?
Oh yeah,
I remember the commercials for that when I was little.
Yeah. And what they did, because I actually did it so I could get hardcovers. But when they sent you the first one, they sent you kind of a checklist that you could mail back. And you could check off, like, I already have this, already have this, already have this. So they wouldn't send you Carrie if you already had Carrie. And they would, so the next month that maybe Pet Cemetery shows up, it's like, oh, great, I didn't have a hardback of Pet Cemetery. Now I can mark it off my card and send it back. And
that's a great idea.
Stuff you didn't have. And but when you have all these things now, like with Pulse, for example, you have a membership, you have a login, you sign up. I mean, man, that is one page on a website with a form that you go click, click, click. Send me Stingray.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting idea. Man, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do as far as I see everyone's point of wanting some obscure figures, but then I see obscure figures, everyone's screaming, "Oh, we're getting this, and then my Walmart's full of them, and no one's bought them. I don't know, like Shang-Chi figures. I'm not blaming the movie. The movie seemed like it was really. I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to spoil it or anything. I haven't seen it yet, but it looked really good. I will see it. Same thing with Eternals. I'll see it. I'm not, but I don't. I'm not their market when it comes to those figures. Clearly, I don't mess with
Yeah,
uh,
sure.
movie superhero stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It's we're in a weird place right now when it comes to that stuff. I like your idea though. I wish some companies would do that. I wish some of the smaller companies would do that. That would be a lot of fun. I do like what I'm seeing though, especially from the big companies with all these troop builders where they're putting them out at like
Yeah.
$15 a piece in these like more simple boxes. Um, I love that. I wish they would do that with Star Wars. They should never not be a stormtrooper in print, right? I mean,
Yeah, 100%. And I think that, because they're the same. I mean, it's the same company, right? You've got
yeah,
Hasbro doing the stuff for the Legends. They've started a thing with the vintage series with the 3.75 where they're doing troop packs of
I've seen that.
stormtroopers,
Yeah, yeah,
and a couple of them will have little variations. Like one has like the platoon leader, Paul Droon, on the shoulder, but then the others are regular stormtroopers, and they've got some different weapons, so you can kind of outfit them how you want. And then they did a rebel trooper one, like the guys from New Hope in the hallway, like
okay,
three of the
yeah,
rebel troopers and Captain Antilles. So there's no reason they can't apply that to Black Series and have a troop builder stormtrooper or a troop builder indoor soldier or whatever.
right, yeah,
They should be able to do that. If Marvel has gone to, at this point, they've had the hand, the scroll, the dead hand, like the resurrected
yep,
hand guy, shield
yep,
agents, AIM, Hydra.
yep.
They're really hitting the organizations. So,
No, and I mean even everything from Star Wars from those damn droids. People would buy those if you could
mm,
buy them for like $10 a piece. In one of those, man, they would sell like hotcakes. People would buy the hell out of them. Because everyone, there's a reason why the stormtroopers disappear off the shelf. Everybody army builds.
yeah,
I don't.
everybody.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think like wrestling could do anything like that. Um, Maybe every now and then throwing a build a figure referee or something would be fun.
Yeah, they've
Um,
done.
yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that'd be cool. But I'm all about getting that stuff out into people's hands. I know whenever I see a new wave of anything Star Wars, and I see, oh, there's a stormtrooper, I'm like, I'm never going to see that damn stormtrooper ever, and not on store shelves unless I pre-order it. Um, I it's just how it is. And I think with Marvel, they figured that out real quick. With the hand ninjas and all this other stuff, and the aim soldiers and the scrolls, and that's just really smart. That's just
yeah.
those
The
figures
very
are
first,
make them, put them out there.
yeah. When I started getting Star Wars when they first came out, because I was just old enough to get on board with
Yeah,
Star Wars. I did get. I still have them. They had 3 stormtroopers, 2 Tuscans, and 2 Jawas. And actually, the Jawa. I told this story on your show before. That the Jawa was because we had so much trouble finding that my mom bought 2 of them because she was so relieved she finally found a Jawa. She bought 2. Uh,
E- even in a galaxy far, far away, like the late '70s and early '80s, there was troop builders.
that's right. So yeah,
That's
it goes
awesome.
back.
Yeah, oh no, it's always been something that we've dealt with. Yeah, those they're just great bad guys. They're great bad guys. So,
Yeah,
man, a lot of toy news though, man, and we're ramping up for the holidays. Like Eric said, I seen the same thing at my stores. A lot of stuff just coming off the shelves, new stuff going on. I'm actually seeing things on the shelves that I've never seen. Toys like my Walmart out here, it was basic. I didn't know that was even a toy section. I thought it was lawn and garden. It was just empty. I mean, it was crazy. So we're seeing that stuff. Like I went down the aisle. I'm like, oh man, Motu. Oh man, wrestling. Oh, they got stuff here. This is great, fantastic. So we're starting to see that stuff. They're loading up for Christmas, but hopefully we're at the end of the supply chain nonsense here sooner rather than later. Because I'd really like to, give these companies my money.
That's right. You're doing it for the economy, man.
No, that's yeah. Yes, I do it for the economy, not because I'm a OCD hoarder that gets locked in and doing one thing, over and over again. So, all right, man, guys, I think that's it. A lot of toy news. That was a couple of weeks worth. With I think the next show will be a little bit lacking. All that toy news, but we'll see. We're recording this November 1st.
Yep.
So I say that we get done, and then the internet breaks in half tomorrow morning with something, right? So
Yeah, especially we're approaching the holidays. So
yeah, it's coming. It's coming. So
HasLab Death Star.
oh Jesus H Christ. Why not? Why not? I want a HasLab Godzilla. And I need him at least 4 feet tall.
There you go.
Eric shaking his head. No. Yes. They need to give me a 2-up of my 78 Shogun Warriors Godzilla. That sucker, he needs to be about the size of my wife, about 5 foot tall.
Wife size.
Yeah, wife size, not life size, wife size. That's how I got a speech impediment. That's horrible. Oh, all right, man. Well, Troy, before we hop off here, man, tell everybody how they can read your articles and support you.
Oh, right on. Like I said before, my figure column is super articulate on graphicpolicy.com. And you can also find my writing at the venerable Saturday Evening Post.com. I have a article that just went up today, November 1st, on the history of REO Speedwagon, because their first album came out 50 years ago. So
That's
I
cool.
do pop culture stuff. Yep, 50. That is correct.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
So yeah, man, it's crazy. When I write about the movies and the first albums of bands and stuff, it gets a huge response. I did one. American Pie turned 50 a couple of weeks ago, and I did a piece on that, and that it was really widely read because people enjoy seeing like the behind the scenes of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We like to see how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, man, Troy, thanks for taking time out of your evening.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, awesome, man. Anytime. Trust me. When it comes to the Legends and the Star Wars stuff, man, I defer to you on this stuff because I don't get in deep into it, and I know Eric doesn't either. We like it, we watch it. I collect some of it, but I don't get into it as deep. But also, before we go, I think me and Eric want to wish our buddy, Jesus, look at all that stuff, a friend of ITCE and one of our favorite wrestlers, our buddy Danhausen, broke his leg this weekend on Halloween night. So we wish him a speedy recovery so he can hurry up and sign with the AEW and get me some Danhausen action figures. Like
I've been since it happened, I've actually been hounding Shudder to hire him as a horror host on Twitter.
Nice. All right, guys, from all of us here at Off the Card, thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.